Welcome back to Talk Live. I'm Richard Jenny. I'm talking with Glenn Fry, and just to give you an idea of how bad I wanted to talk to him, I passed on Newt Gingrich's mom as a guest to have Glenn here. Glenn, should we talk about music? You know a little bit about that.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about it.
You got your inspiration, originally I heard you were lucky enough to see the Beatles live.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I took piano lessons when I was a kid growing up in Detroit, but, you know, the kids are mean, and, you know, from the time I was 5 till I was 12, even though I was taking piano lessons, it wasn't very glamorous. And my aunt got tickets to see the Beatles at the Olympia in Detroit, and she took me along with her kid, with my other cousins. And it was just an amazing experience. I think they probably sang through the PA, and nobody ever really heard, you know, just barely the beginnings of songs, and then it was just decibels of screaming and people passing out, and this girl in the chair in front of me fell into my arms, you know, like screaming, Paul, Paul, you know. And I thought, this is really cool.
So wait a minute, you're saying that sort of your motivation for getting into this business was women, in a way? That's a really unusual way of getting into the rock and roll business.
Well,
it's amazing. I learned so much about you.
Yeah,
I know you as a friend.
Say, what was your motivation?
The same thing.
Yeah.
We have Clark. Clark Simon, or is it Clark from Arkansas?
Yes.
Do we have Clark?
Hi.
Are you Clark or Simon?
No, this is Clark.
Hi, Clark.
How are you doing?
How are you?
Good.
Do you have a
How are
question
you?
for Mr. Fry?
Yeah, how you doing, Glenn?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Hey, I just wanted to say, I mean, growing up, you guys were the epitome of rock and roll. I mean, the first song I ever learned on my guitar was Tequila Sunrise.
Well, that's cool.
My question is...
Shows you how simple that song is. We're just kidding.
Wait a minute,
What's your question,
This guy
Clark?
could be a brilliant guitar player.
No, I'm sure he's, no. Go ahead, Clark.
My question is, I know you guys played a lot about, you talk a lot about Texas, you talked a lot about California. Do you consider your band a Texan band or a California band?
Well, you know, to quote Grand Funk, we're an American band. But, you know, I mean, we've always been identified with California. I thought what was unique about the Eagles and the original Eagles is that none of us were from California, yet we're, you know, so we sort of represent guys that went west.
Yeah. And,
you know, and this is where, you know, a lot of musicians have, you can sort of go 3 places, you know, you can go to New York, you go to Nashville, or you can go to LA, San Francisco. Although, you know, Seattle, there's other places where there's music happening, but at the time when I was trying to make my choice, California was the place to go. And so I ended up meeting Don, who's from Texas, Bernie Ledden was from Florida, Randy Meisner was from Nebraska, Felder's from Florida, Joe Walsh is from New Jersey, Ohio area. Only Timothy Schmidt is a native Californian. He was, I think, started out in Sacramento. But I think we're kind of a California band, but we're an American band, a vocal band.
And mostly an American band. And in the words of Grand Funk, what was that line they used to have? We're coming to your town.
We're going to party it down.
Party it down. Clark, thanks for calling.
Hey, man, appreciate it. See you later, Glenn.
Yeah, nice talking to you, Clark.
Good.
Yeah, I was just thinking.